And welcome to the live stream. My name is Amy Prokopis. I am an indie author. I write paranormal romance and romantasy, always with a little spice. And we go live here on YouTube every Sunday night at 8:30 Central Standard Time. Welcome back. I was a little bit delayed. I am still wrapping some stuff up over here on my end. Shortly, I'll be back on schedule, ready to go. It has been a really, really wild week around here for a lot of reasons. I've just been really busy. There's that. And I live in a town in Oklahoma where a gigantic E4, I think is what they decided, tornado came through and actually did some damage in our community. So it has been really wild over here. Had some changes in events, also added some things to my schedule this week in my personal life. My little guy is starting football, so that has been added into the craziness among writing and just everything else. So I am still trying to finish up some other little projects on the side, but I wanted to get us going here so that we weren't up super, super late. So if you are new, welcome. Let me know in the comment section what you are excited for tonight, what you will be working on. We here on this channel will do 3 writing sprints or productivity sprints. It's another word for them. So what we will do is we will start by chatting and talking about how things are going, our intentions for the night, what we were going to work on. And then we will do 3 rounds of 25 minutes dedicated writing time with chats in between. We will talk about updates, project things, where we are. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you guys for tuning in with me. So we are going to get going here in a minute. Like I said, I have some other things I really need to wrap up. So we're going to get started really, really soon with our first sprint of the night. So I really don't have a whole lot of updates, just that I haven't done a ton of writing. Tonight, I've got a cherry Coke Zero that I will be drinking as I work, and I think now is as good a time as any to maybe go ahead and jump into sprints. So I know we haven't been chatting very long. I really just don't have a whole lot to talk about though. So maybe jump into the comment section and ask questions if you have them. Tonight, I will be working on my draft of Submitting to the Beast, which is book 2 in the Billionaire Beast of New York duology. I'm really excited. I am starting the night. What am I starting at? 32,834 words. So here's hoping that we have a really good first sprint. I am going to mute myself because I like to listen to my own music while I write. And that will be our night. That's where we're going to be picking up. So here we go. Sprint number 1 in 3, 2, 1, sprint. Okay, I had a really slow start, unfortunately, but that's okay. I think I put in the chat that I started at 32,834 words. I am at 83,035 words, which is okay. It's okay. There are worse things. I did have, like I said, to wrap up a few things. So I was up and down in between the sprints a little bit. It is not the end of the world. But I'm trying to real quick do the math on it. I didn't write a ton of words, but that is okay. I think I said 33, not 83. So we wrote a little bit. Also, more people jumped in here, which is exciting. We have Amanda, sprint hopping. That is super fun. I have been trying to do a better job pushing my stream out on all of my social media and not just on Instagram real fast, like a minute before we go live. So I've actually been sharing to a few other places as I think to. So welcome. I am excited that you are in here. 30-day book, currently partway through day 19. That is awesome. Hoping to get past 20 tonight, maybe finish a great streaming day. Thank you so much. Hopefully you guys can't hear it like crazy in the stream, but I got a new fidget. I am a fidgeter. That's all I do. Well, I say that's all I do. I have ADHD. I always fidget. It keeps me calm because also I fidget worse when I get a little anxious, but it keeps me focused also. And so normally it is a pin cap. I have that with me that I kind of like twist around in my fingers. But I have been seeing this fidget forever. And a long time ago, I went and added it into my cart and then decided not to. And this weekend, I decided to come back to it. So it's a pack. There's several different kinds, but they all have, they call it little ouchies, have the like pressure points, which I really like. This one spins, which is nice. Comes on this chain so I can attach it to stuff. But it came with several different ones. So there's a little cactus guy who's super cute. There's a pair of magnetic balls that also have that texture to it. And a little hedgehog. So on the top is the hedgehog spines, and on the other side are these interconnected rings that spin around. That's really fun. And it works out because Finn likes the balls and the hedgehog, and I like the cactus and this guy. And I have already found myself like really just wanting this in my hand a lot for something to hold. And so I think I may actually order another set of them. That way I can have multiples kind of stashed around. I think I might keep one at my office, maybe keep one in my purse for when I'm on the go, maybe another set at home. I really don't know, but I think I'm going to order a few more of them because they are super nice. So we'll see. They've been super helpful though. I don't know if you guys are a fidgeter or not. I am the worst at that. I actually remembered to send my stream link to the author tube list today for tomorrow, which is impressive. That is definitely like you have to think, right? You have to remember, and I have not gotten good at that. And it's not like a new thing for me going live. I've been doing this for a while now. Took a break and then kind of came back even. So I really should know better to do that. And I don't know. I just forget. So welcome to my life. But we have only written 201 words for sprint number 1, but that is perfectly fine. Okay. I don't really have updates. The ticker at the bottom says for break number 1, Taming the Beast updates. I guess the only update is that on Thursday, Taming the Beast comes back from my editor, which is super exciting. My PA, we call her PA Bestie Jill around here. She goes on vacation in May. She takes some time. And so after I get Taming the Beast back from my editor on Thursday, my task is to hurry up and implement some final edits and do my part. That way it can go into proofreading, and my PA does my proofreading, PA Bestie Jill. And since she's going on her trip soon, I want to get the book to her super quick so that I can do extra adjustments as needed. So I need to finish my part. What I would really like to do is get the book uploaded into Vellum and get it into that kind of format as well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish quite that up. I think it may just be some of the Vellum settings, and I won't input my own artwork and stuff into the Vellum file yet, but we will see. I really just need to get it to her as soon as I can so she can proof it. I've been going for a month or two now. It's always the same time, super easy to schedule, use the same thumbnail, yet I always forget about an hour before. See, I use all the same thumbnails and settings and stuff as well. I just don't, aside from sharing on Instagram, I just don't think to like share it elsewhere. What I think should do is probably post it in Sarah Cannon's group, the Heart Breathings group on her on her Facebook group, because there are a lot of people in there. There's like a whole stream group, and that's what I should do. I should put stuff into that. Yeah. What spice level? I have a little bit of everything, but most of what I write tends to be dark, pretty heavy spice. I like this duology, Taming the Beast and Submitting to the Beast, are all BDSM. So I tend to write things on that side of the spectrum, a little bit spicier. Not to say that that's the only thing in my books. All of my books have overarching plots and paranormal settings usually. So all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, I tend to write a little bit of spicier stuff, but I have closed door books, and I also have some milder books also kind of in the mix. So a little bit all around. Yeah. Troublemakers group is great too. They have a Discord where you can self-promo. That sounds very nice. Yeah. So I definitely am on the lookout for more networking things. So I'll have to look into that one because I'm not familiar with that one. Yeah. I also, being a little bit behind tonight, I have not done all of my marketing for the day. I was late. I slept in, which doesn't happen very often. Not only that, but I've been up the last 2 nights really late. My husband and I have been binge watching The Pit, which I am adoring. So much fun. But we've definitely gone down a rabbit hole, and we are staying up way too late. The last 2 nights we've been up till almost 1 a.m, and then waking up fairly early also because our 6-year-old gets us up pretty early. But this morning I slept in, and it really threw off the normal Sunday routine for me. I did not get stuff posted to Instagram like I had planned to because we were binge watching the night before. I also did not get prepared to post things, so I didn't have fresh promo content and stuff. So I am a little bit behind today. If I don't get all of my marketing content onto TikTok and such tonight, though, it would be perfectly fine. It's really not the end of the world. But all week I have been a little bit behind, and it's not just because I've been watching The Pit. It's because it's just been a really busy week. We've added new stuff to the schedule. I think I said at the beginning of the stream before we started the first sprint that our son started football this week, and we had a tornado come through our town, and we've had a little bit of everything. So it's just been a little abnormal. So I'm just not used to all the activities. Yeah. So yeah, that is pretty much what I've got going on right now. What else? Here in a second, we should jump into the second sprint of the night. I really think not just because I only wrote 2,000, only wrote 200 words in the first sprint, but I think tonight will be a night where I stay up a little bit later to get a little bit more writing done. The last week I did not stay up after the live stream. I pretty much hopped off the live stream and went to sleep because I was really tired last week. But I think I'm going to stay up a little later. I sat down this afternoon, took a look at my schedule for this month and then going into May, because I really want to finish drafting, submitting to the Beast in May. And so I looked at what is feasible for me as far as what I have left to write, if I could even write it in enough time to be done at the end of May, because I'm also, I think, going to be taking on an editing project for a client. And so I've actually extended my date just a little. So I should be able to finish by June 8th. Because of the way that I have been consistently writing, I've been doing 5K Fridays because I have a lot more time on my hands on Fridays. And so I've been writing at least 5,000 words. And so when I sat down and looked at how like the numbers all kind of worked out, if I am able to write 5,000 words every Friday until about that time, then it should be easy enough for me to have this book finished by the 8th. And that's just me assuming how long this book is. I am assuming I am going to hit the 100K mark because I went and looked, and Taming the Beast is 102,000 words, somewhere in that realm. So if we're expecting, and I should, that book 2 in this duology is about the same, then we are expecting it to be about that long. So that's what I planned for and did the math on. So I think June 8th is our due date to be finished drafting. And yeah, that leaves me room to do the editing before I have a trip planned in June. So I think it gives me a lot more space to play with stuff. We'll see. I have not set any firm deadlines for myself, which is why, like, if you go and look for these books online, they're not up for pre-order because I haven't done any pre-order stuff yet. I told myself for 2026, just to avoid, because last year I was pushing myself really close to deadlines because I was still kind of settling into like a new work schedule since I've transitioned into writing a little bit more full time. I'm still working as a therapist. I'm an LPC candidate, so I'm still doing that on top of everything. But I have a lot more writing time on my hands. But this last year, the transition sort of kicked my butt. So I've been giving myself a little bit more free time to adjust. And so I'm not setting a pre-order date until I have things kind of more confirmed. That way I don't have to worry so much about the pressure for myself. So yeah, but that's the date. Right now, we're going to try to have book 2 finished by June 8th. That way we can wrap everything up, and then I can start looking at actual dates for pre-orders because I am rapid releasing this duology. So fingers crossed, everything works out. And so that leads me into tonight. I need to hit just about 1,000 words, which is usually how I write in these live streams. I'm a little bit slower because the first sprint was not as productive, but usually I write at least 1,000 words during these live streams, but we'll see, at least to get to that point tonight. Okay, I think it's a good time to jump into our second sprint of the night. We're going to do another 25 minutes, and then we will come back together, chat about project updates, things moving forward. We'll talk a little bit more about the Curse of Wings series. I kind of want to talk a little bit about some of the changes in my marketing strategy also, because that really leans into Cursive Wings, as a matter of fact, because I've been doing things a little bit differently and I've noticed some stuff. So I may share a little bit of that when we come back together, some marketing stuff. So don't go too far. Yeah, 25 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. I actually just lost some words, but that's okay. This has already been a much better sprint. I'm at 33,290 words, 91 words. So I was able to write a little bit more, still not a ton, 256 words. So that puts me at 457 for the stream so far. So not nearly as productive as I usually am, but we're getting there. Like I said, normally I do like 1,000 words in these live streams or close to, and I do want to hit about that much tonight. So if we don't quite get there in the next sprint, then I will stay up a little bit to get a little closer, get a better feel on things. I am almost out of caffeine also. So how did everybody else do? Finish day 20. That is awesome. Probably calling it a night here. Thank you for joining me. It was great meeting you. I hope you have a really good week and you get everything accomplished that you were hoping for. Yeah, this week, my plans are to write as much as I can. That's really the biggest one until Thursday. And then Thursday, I am going to do a lot of edit because I'll get the book back, Taming the Beast. I'll get book 1 back on Thursday, and I need to edit as much as I can moving into the weekend. Originally, and my thoughts were that I was going to sacrifice my 5K Friday to do all of that editing. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think what I will do instead is try to do my 5K Friday. Friday, we also have football practice. And so I am planning to maybe do some editing then because I'll have a little bit of writing time at that point. And we all just kind of like sit outside, especially if the weather's nice. So I think I'll bring my computer with me and it'll be really easy because it won't require quite as much of my focus. So I think I'll sit down and do some of my editing Friday night, that time. Yeah. All right. So if you needed another stream, because I am not doing another stream for this week, here's one. So Amanda is streaming tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you need some stuff, there's that. Awesome. It was great to meet you. I don't know if I'll be, well, this is kind of an odd week for me. So I'm going to have more evening time. So maybe I will join a live stream this week. I haven't actually tuned in to somebody else's in a while. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do that. That could be really fun. Yeah, maybe that's something we'll do. But I think that's all the updates. As far as my marketing stuff, because I did say something about that earlier, I have been having a lot of luck with Lemonade, which is a really random social media platform to, I don't know, be having a really good time and getting a lot of stuff accomplished through, but I'm having a really good time with Lemonade. So, yeah, I don't know. I am kind of forgetting what I was going to tell you guys, actually. I'm planning on doing an entire video about how I do social media marketing and how I'm doing them right now. So maybe that's something that will go into that video. I don't know. I'm kind of scatterbrained tonight, but I think now is as good a time as any to go ahead and move into the next sprint because I really don't have updates for Curse of Wings, just that I am already getting a lot of really good feedback for the Billionaire Beast in New York duology. I think rapid releasing it is the best move. And I I really feel like this duology could kind of could dethrone Curse of Wings as my best-selling book. Curse of Wings and Darkness has been my bestseller for a long time and by a good margin, but this duology could really, I don't know, manage to do it. So we'll see. Okay, we are going to go ahead and move into the last sprint of the night. This is the final one. We are going to do a final 25 minutes and then we will wrap up. We'll talk more about plans for this week moving forward. Exciting things to come because I am planning to do a single subject video here on YouTube. I haven't done one of those in a little while. And I'm also not too far out from posting early versions of Taming the Beast to my Patreon page. So if you're not a Patreon member, you can join for free and get weekly writing updates. It's linked below. But if you become a $3 member for just $3 a month, you can get things like a guaranteed spot on an ARC team, behind the scenes looks. I share freebies and marketing information and writing stuff, author business things. And I also post the early chapters, often unedited early chapters of my books. So I am getting ready as soon as Taming the Beast comes back from my editor. I will be in a place to start releasing chapters of that book to Patreon. So you can find the link for that below. Okay, we are ready to jump into the next sprint. Final 25 minutes. 3, 2, 1, sprint. Okay, that is, there we go. Had to move you guys a little. The final sprint of the night. I am going to tally up my final word count. I really think this last sprint was a whole lot better. I'm still moving kind of slow. I'm in kind of a technical spot though, so it's taking me a little bit more to get all the details just right. I'm being more careful with them. I did write 100 more words though than the last sprint number 2. I wrote 342 words this time, which is still a little bit on the lower end for me, but that's okay. I am at 799 words, so just not too far from 1,000. So I am going to continue working for a little bit tonight. I want to be at least 1,000 going into tomorrow. In case you were curious, when I'm drafting like this, or at least with the last couple of books, I have started to use Pacemaker Press to track and gauge my progress. So that's how I kind of am able to do the math and figure out what I should be writing by day to be at that end date I want. So that's how I know that June 8th is a better time, realistically, for me to finish this book, because I did the math on what I realistically could write every day, with 5,000 words being a Friday word count. So just in case anyone else was curious what I use to track my sprints, it is pacemaker.press. So maybe I'll link it somewhere. I don't know. I use the free version. I think there is a paid version, but I don't use that right now. I don't store my data there. What if I had the paid version? I think you could have more projects and things stored in there, and you could keep your data. But I just go through and delete it all when I'm finished with it, because the books are done by that point anyway. So it is fun though. You can like create widgets and stuff, so you can actually link your progress page to like a blog or a website, so people could see what percentage you are through finishing a project, which is kind of cool. So that's what I use in case anyone was curious. I am super happy with where I am finishing the stream. I am at 33,633 words. That is where I am ending our live stream tonight. I am going to stay up and wrap things up just a little bit, so I have a little bit more ahead of me. And as far as going into this next week, it's going to be a really busy one. But I think because I am sort of playing like chauffeur, driving people around, I am going to have a little bit more alone time on my hands between tasks. So I'm hoping that will translate to a lot of writing time, and I'm just super excited that I am going to get my book back from my editor. So there's that. Maybe I'll share more about kind of like my editor feedback on Patreon with her willing. I don't really want to share too much if she's not comfortable with me sharing those details, but maybe that's something I'll do. So be on the lookout, because behind the scenes, early drafts are coming to Patreon for $3 members of Taming the Beast. I'm super excited, and submitting the Beast updates are not far behind. So definitely check that out. At least join for free so you get the weekly writing updates, which are super fun. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this week. Thank you guys so much for following me. Make sure to follow all of the links in the description box, because it's my social media and where my books are. Like the stream, it really, really helps out. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out next week when we go live. And that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much. Read books, be kind, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.